Episode commencing in 3, 2, 1. Episode initiated.
Okay, here's the story about how one of the most delicious breakfast sandwiches of all time got destroyed and how Stella got her groove back. This time breaking up with Joker, but keeping her hyenas. This is Cosmic Birds of Prey, or the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Crit. This is your GM Patrick here, your Gotham manager of dank nightclubs, and joining me in an all-out femme fatale fight are my 5 freshest and most ferocious players across the digital table from me. He's swinging a bat in the city of Batman. It's Miles playing Raimi.
Good evening.
On my right, he can sonically blast you with a well-placed scream. It's Tyler playing Nedros. Ah! Flash. Ah! To his left, say what you want about him, but it gave us Rosie Perez back. And for that, this is a 10 out of 10 movie. It's Rebecca playing Alindra.
Hello.
To my left, a black masked baddie played by Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's Drew playing Knack Feldspar.
This was the last movie we saw before the pandemic.
Yeah, and finally, to his left, girl power in the form of another orphan of violence, ready for some vigilante justice. It's Jabert as Andis148.
Yay.
A lot of people don't like that movie, but boy,
I
love
loved
that
it.
movie.
I love that movie.
A lot
That's
of fun
fantastic.
with it.
So good.
It's fantabulous.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought that one was pretty good. Pretty good.
It ranks real high for me on my favorite comic movie list. It's so good. The hair tie scene alone is just like,
I was going to say, I love the hair tie scene.
yeah, it's one of the
Maybe
best.
it's sexist, but whatever.
It's one of the best like subtle scenes, or you're just like, this is incredible. What I'm watching is just magical.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but
It's just a really fun ride, you know?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's the thing. It's one of those movies, and not even a lot of Marvel movies are like that, where it's like fun to the point where I could easily put it on and rewatch it. I think the Suicide Squad,
The Suicide Squad.
whichever is the fun one. I could probably
article.
watch that.
Whichever
anytime.
which one is watchable. That one.
The one with the definitive article is the definitively best one.
Whoa, okay. You're busting out some English degree over here, Rebecca. The definitive article. Guys, welcome back. Congratulations are in order here as, one of the most well-earned victories here on the podcast has just been achieved by you all. We're getting off of 3 weeks of a crazy difficult fight. And it's time to get back into the adventure. Unbelievably, as I led on last week, that's not the end of the book.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, these higher level adventures are a little crazier. That was the end of part 3. We are now entering part 4 of the Starstone blockade. Why don't we get back in the swing of things with a little trivia recap? We haven't had one in a couple episodes. So you get all 3 of them correct, and I'll allow anyone to refresh their level reroll. Anyone can get a reroll back. And if you get all 3 wrong, I will refresh my own, which is the first time we've all used ours before, I think, the level up. First for the season. So
these last few weeks have really called for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some pretty major rerolls that have resulted in the same dice roll as.
I was going to say, I don't think a single one of our rerolls did us any good, right?
Yeah.
No, they did not. I think several times we just rolled the same thing.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe we can look to book 3 to, instead of rerolls, maybe just doing them like luck. Like, an important roll's coming up, be like, hey, your roll. I know, like, it's not really any different, but maybe we'll trick roll 20 into rolling you better numbers if you roll 2d20 at a time. Last week, you guys sparred with the outsider Faye, known as Niren, as he tried to wrest control of the Starstone. He rolled a fan critical fumble that broke his second sword. What was the name of that fumble? Anybody? Any guesses?
Because it got stuck in Andis's armor.
No, that was a different one. That was a different one.
Oh.
That one was like,
I rolled lots of crit hits and crit fails.
yeah.
I feel like I should give you a hint here because no one's got it. It's a Dune reference.
I didn't know that.
Rip and tear?
Rip and tear, yes, of course.
A
No,
Dune reference, not a Doom reference.
Oh, Dune! Oh, I heard Dune. Oh.
Tyler was ready for it.
I was like, I'll make a guess.
And I didn't know this. I just Googled it. I was like, where is this from? The fumble was called May Your Blade Chip and Shatter.
Right.
And that it did. During the combat, whenever you all got within 30 feet of Niran, you had to make a will save or declare your following turns actions. What was this ability called?
Ooh, I think that was called Fated Actions.
That is correct.
Yeah, there we go. No hero, no reroll for you.
How dare you? Last but not least, over the course of the combat, how many natural 20s did not matter one bit because Niran was immune to critical hits.
I think the answer for that is too many. Way too many.
I believe.
I'm gonna say 5.
I would say 5.
It seems like a lot.
I don't know
believe-
whether or not you're counting the one that I did against the mirror image that just evaporated.
No, I did not, because that was not against Niran. That was against a
Mirror image.
mirror image. It was 3 in total, I believe. Andis, Knack, and then Andis again. So sorry, Trevor. Right. So no boon for you guys. Let's get back into this week's episode as we are fast forwarding a little bit to your large retinue of an ex-Aslanti soldier and the reporter for the newspaper, 5 Skittermander, I think teenagers now. Maybe they've aged back a little bit. Like
they've rooted up a little bit.
Yeah, they all have like little emo hair flips that they're doing every 10 minutes. Like, leave me alone. I just want to fix the Starstone.
I just want to help, Dad.
Their little stomach, mouth umbilicals have fallen off at this point. So they're almost back. Right, and we see you all re-enter the Star Chamber. Maybe with medical teams seeing to your injuries. I think we glossed over this. Alindra Vallis being fitted now with a second prosthetic leg. You are double iron legs up. Maybe some.
I already had cybernetic legs. How does this work? Do they
So you had
repair them?
cybernetically enhanced your own legs. So, I mean, you have like pistons and stuff.
Oh, but now I have full on just
Yes. The pistons are still
Okay.
there, but now you have prosthetic legs. Don't worry. The rest of this adventure, I'll try to work on your arms next.
Yeah.
So just-
thanks. I appreciate it.
Alindra, we're robo-flanking buddies now. It's great.
You guys are up to full health. And if you needed to burn an RP to get your SP back, you could have done that between last week's episode and this one as you return from the Starstone back up to the Planera.
Holy cow! I am low on resolve points.
Same.
Very low.
Welcome.
I think if I were to go down right now, I could not get myself back up.
So
Let me just write this note down real quick.
you said we can do a 10-minute rest.
Yes. So
All
if
right.
you need to get your SP back.
Taking one of those.
Yeah,
But-
I was afraid I was in the same spot. Like if he knocked me out of the sky and I fell down and took any damage, I'd be like, "Oh,
See you later." Right. And like I said, you guys can get full healed up with some serums, some magical healings. Maybe there is a magician there with you.
Is the
mystic.
Can we just
I don't need
like
to-
take a nap?
Yes, I know that's my card. You got it behind your back.
No, that's how their magic works, Drew. You have to believe that the quarter was behind your ear or it doesn't work, Drew. I'm sorry, Miles, what were you saying?
Can't we just like go to bed?
Oh no, the world is ending right now. I mean, you can. Everyone will die.
I mean, I'm
That's
fine with that. I'm tired.
But yeah, we see here the directorate Kim, Brisa, June are all there to meet you. Majority of them, the Pact Council, are standing around the central table, and there's dozens. Like, they've brought in holographic projectors from elsewhere, just dozens of real-time kind of reports, and in the main center here, a projection of Ark Prime. A good look at this kind of almost looks like a giant dagger or a thorn, this starship in the holographic projector. Kimbrisa June will come up to you all, and she kind of looks you over, can see that you're maybe healing up, but her eyes go wide, and she says, the hidden truth has revealed itself to you all. You saw the Starstone with your own eyes. Am I correct?
Is that what the website's based on? Is that like a thing in the universe? The hidden truth?
The hidden truth is what I believe. The hidden truth is another name for the path of Allure 2. Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I don't think I made that up.
Okay.
Allure to be blessed. I knew you all were chosen for a reason to follow this path. I've been explaining to the council that you all have been fated to deliver Absalom Station and the Starstone from destruction. The fates have aligned, and they have agreed that your path forward should be the head of their strategy. Perhaps you all believe that now as well.
I don't know about believing in that, but I believe we have some unfinished business with the invaders. We will attend to it.
Lynn Camulin, the steward directorate leader, will kind of draw the meeting to an order as he sees you guys come in. And as he does so, there's maybe the glass in the windows here overlooking the center of Absalom kind of shake a little bit. The building shudders as there's some far off explosion somewhere that shakes the entirety of the station. But he'll get things back in order and says, welcome back, Starfinders. I forgot. Let me take you guys back to the Planera. See who these figures are again. Oh, welcome back, Starfinders. Cambrisas has informed us of your mission status, and we have information to share with you. As I said over comms, after having secured Absalom and evacuated the majority of the civilian population, well, we have been reinforced. The Eoxian fleet has rejoined the Armada, and we've got several other ships that have come online in the station's defense in the last 3 hours. An Ahsoki engineer kind of comes forward and delivers a report, and you guys get the 411 on this Sivian ship. They say, yes, the vessel known as Designate Ark Prime. Well, if it's anything like the structures that the Drift Rider crew here discovered on Hib with the World Seed, well, not even the weapons of our heavy cruisers would put a dent in its hull, let alone get past its shields. Likely, the only way to stop a vessel of this size and in time would be to infiltrate and shut down its central processing unit or power supply. There's like high-res telescopic scans that materialize above your heads now here at the main table, showing surface features of the ship, Ark Prime. It is a massive vessel, so some of these are pretty far away, but a few of them highlight what looks like a large circular structure just on the edge of a very wide trench. There are very few features, next to none, on the surface of the vessel, but we've been scanning it from afar for the last few days and have found this single oddity. It's, a circular structure here on the side of the vessel, and we believe it to be a form of airlock door.
Some sort of a space oddity.
It is an oddity on the starship. Starship oddity. But we believe that's going to be the point of access.
Well, if it's this thing shooting down ships left and right, how do we even get close to that tiny little door?
Well, not a lot of ships will. Lynn Camuel will kind of take the floor back again and says, Council have already voted, and you all said that you want to take the fight to the Civ, and you're going to get your chance. I have a Starbrand heavy cruiser, fully staffed, ready for you all to lead this armada into battle against Ark Prime. The main plan is we take down their shields and inject you all on the surface of the vessel. And this is where you make your ingress here at this airlock.
It's not like a teleport or anything we could use. Anything little.
Nothing that'd get past those shields. And we have no idea what the vessel is like on the inside. Prime Executive Mela Cruz will pipe in and say, doing this is going to be extremely dangerous, yes. We're going to be able to move in the Armada to engage, but they will likely counterattack at the same time. They have a swarm of drones that we believe can outnumber our own defenders, and Absalom Station cannot stand another fire from the blast that disabled the Starstone to begin with. If they're able to recharge that weapon, well, let's just say we're working under the assumption that we have hours and not days to take down the ship.
Then let's get to work. But hey, if and when we get back, we all get to call ourselves admirals. Deal?
Lynn Camulon looks around, is like, I mean, I have the ability to give you guys a field commission right now if that's what's going to get you to get on this heavy cruiser. But I mean, you've already saved parts of the universe here from destruction once before, but this is more than that. This is the entire packed worlds that are in jeopardy right now if Absalom goes dark. But we're going to mount this operation as soon as possible. So we have a coordinated series of 3 battlefields that we need to look into, a war against their shields, against their fleet of ships, and finally a defensive front here on the station. So shields, ships, station. Any single vessel in these theaters of war, it will be immediately swarmed and destroyed by their drones. So we're forming up dozens, if not hundreds of vessels into large squadrons. We're going to move them en masse. No matter what, we're going to lose many a starship in this operation, but our moves have to be planned out well. And we're hoping to get your help with that live on the battlefield from the deck of the Starbrand. Lynn continues on to explain the forces that you guys have under your command, and I've got good news and bad news.
Oh boy.
The 4 teams of expedition forces that you sent out to secure the Eoxian fleet's return, well, they succeeded in their mission, and they came back with 8 teams of ships, nearly 60% of the entire Eoxian naval force, each with a capital ship or carrier at their center. And that is a large chunk of our defensive forces right now. But unfortunately, the forces that we sent to the Adari failed to return. And we've gotten word that the Splinter Force that attacked the Kasathans, well, they've not fared well there, and some ships have deserted Absalom to go defend the Adari. And we fought several losing battles here already in the skies above Absalom Station. They've been testing our defenses and looking for places where they can destroy or invade. And we've lost about half of our forces due to Civ drone strike attacks and probing those entry points into Absalom. But thanks to you all putting out fires, both literal and figurative, around the station during the assault today, we have staunched a lot of our ships from deserting the Armada. And that being said, we're ready for a counterattack, and well, we need to figure out how we're gonna divvy up our forces, whether we're gonna go for an all-out attack on the Ark Prime, split it up, maybe have some of our defenses here on the station. But even with the shields up and the Starstone reactor back online, it won't take much in an all-out attack for them to drop us and put some real hurting on the ship. There's a voice that kind of pipes in from behind you as Steward Security lets in another presence here to the Parnara, and they say, then perhaps I could be of assistance. A red glowing figure that floats into the chamber behind you, flanked by Cambrisa June and Capac. A buffed out looking contemplative, the now demon summoner Albions 21-2. He's back, baby.
Yay! I'm so glad we didn't kill him.
I have summoned an army of contractor devils, and they are willing to fly for the doom of Ark Prime. And they could easily take the place of 3 of your fleet teams with me at their lead.
What's the catch, Alabians?
no catch. They just really like destroying stuff. So if we set them on taking apart enemy
helpful.
ships, they will do it. That's the kind of their deal.
With a whistle on their lips. Okay, sounds good.
Not even gonna sense motive on that. That's
No, not me.
Lynn says, this guy says he knows you all and said it'd be cool if a few hundred devils swarmed the enemy ships and literally tore their hulls apart. So, I mean, beggars can't be choosers at this point. So I said it was cool that he comes.
I'll have to agree. It would be cool. It would be very cool.
Better Ark Prime than Absalom Station.
Right, exactly. Keep them busy at least.
This is what we call extremely metal.
Right. So I have good news and bad news for you
Again.
all.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Good news and bad news. Well, this
Don't
is
stop.
podcast news.
No.
The good news is we don't have to do a Starship combat.
That's good news. What's the bad news?
We do have to do Starfleet combat. So let me take us to the map real quick.
Wait, is that like a whole new thing?
No, well, it's its own little mini rules. You have to command some forces here in the battle for Absalom Station, or maybe the battle against Ark Prime. But as it's written in the adventure, you have to do this on top of also having a Starship combat. You guys have been through enough in the last 3 weeks. I think we can forego that and let the professional stewards run their heavy cruiser. If you wanted to jump in on a round and do something fun, you can. But for the most part, they are looking towards your leadership to help manage the fleet and kind of get the objective done. So that's what we're going to be focusing on this episode in Starfleet combat.
All right.
Here's the map. I've got it delineated for you guys to see into 3 quadrants. One in the upper left-hand corner here, you can see Absalom Station and the forces that you guys have. I've got 8 Eoxian ships, 10 Armada ships, like assorted Armada ships. That could be anyone coming to the defense of Absalom Station, and 3 Contractor Devils up here in the corner. In the middle, there's the main fleet battle, and finally, Ark Prime's shields is the last area. You guys are brought to the Starbrand, a massive heavy cruiser, with like dozens and dozens of staff on board, and you are met at its gangplank by a steward's admiral, very imposing looking Vesk in very battle-worn powered armor, with about 30 medals on their chest plate, ranging from Outer Rim pirate skirmishes to wars against the Swarm. And he says, welcome aboard the Starbrand, Drift Rider crew. I'm Admiral Kosk Varkan, and I'm going to be in command of this vessel. But the council have told me that you're going to be helping coordinate fleet movements from our command center. Let me know if you need anything from me or my crew. I hope we can provide you with a smooth ride down to the surface of Ark Prime.
Well, let's get to it. Kind of tired, so I'm out of clever, witty things to say.
How are all you guys doing? You just come off a huge battle, and now it's on to the next one.
Yeah, not great. Assuming with the news that we have to finish the campaign without taking a long rest. That's not good.
I mean, we're low on resolve, right? Like
we're
resolve.
all very sleepy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, do we need to take any time to fix? Like, do we get to pick up the swords that dude dropped? And do we need to take time to fix the one that broke?
Yes. Does anybody want to use those? Apocalypse, Vorpal, Devastation blades. I don't know if anyone else has access to using those kind of weapons, but there's 2 of them, and like I said, 12d8 damage.
Are they operative?
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they're
they're 2-handed weapons. How is he wielding 2 of them? They're 2-handed weapons. What a goober that guy was. Such a weirdo.
I mean, I guess technically, I feel like Raimi could.
Well, let's see.
You have to have advanced melee, I'm assuming.
I would presume
they're
it's
all advanced melee.
Yeah.
I think I have.
Can't you steal that training knack
So, actually, I think I have advanced melee.
I think I do too.
for your tail blade? Well,
So that would be a specific feat that you took to get that, right?
Yeah, we can assume that you guys can repair them if
Kaz that counted as advanced.
you get confused with season 2's cat.
I never use melee weapons. So
okay.
yes.
Right. So we can assume if you're not going to sell them, because like I said, with the fusions, they're like 49,000 credits. So if you want to just keep them, they can be repaired as you guys are getting healed up. So you guys are brought on board the Star brand, which I don't know why Starfinder likes to name so many things with Star in the title, but that is the name of the vessel. And it is a large cruiser, probably one of the largest ships that you've been a part of. You're brought to the main command center, which is, it's like a Battlestar Galactica CIC, or not really the bridge of the Enterprise, but a command center where you can get all the information that all the other ship's computers are providing to everyone else that is actually running the ship. As you get settled here, you get a call from Cattywampus, who's now in the captain's chair of the Drift Rider. And in the background is all the Skittermanders that are now 20-something-year-olds. Just little millennial Skittermanders.
Yay, they're helping. And
maybe Zacchus as well, as he is here. And Cattywampus says, I can't believe y'all stuck me with babysitting duty. Well, you get to ride on that sweet, massive cruiser, but I hope you all know all of your snacks are fair game in the galley while you're gone. So you might want to take out this giant world-eating, destructive starship quickly, or I'm gonna feed them to Skittermanders as well. They can have some too.
No, my black milk. No,
your black milk duds are gone.
Suspicious snacks.
Took them all out. They join one of the fleets here, the Drift Rider, and that will be one you can command. And at Dross, you get a call over comms from a familiar ID tag, that of the pirate vessel, the Rusty Rivet, and you see Captain Aquana saying, ho there, Starbrand. It's Captain Aquana here. This old bucket of bolts joined up the Armada once we heard, we had a chance of punching through that monstrosity's shields. So we put out the call and gathered as many pirates from the diaspora as we could and formed our own little unit here. So tell us where to go, who to shoot, when to shoot them. Can you do that for us?
It's good to hear your voice over comms. I'm pretty sure that we can point you in a place that we need torpedoes.
Well, point us where we can do the most damage, but also claim the most salvage for plunder later.
I have your best interests at heart. I'll get you somewhere good.
Finally, you guys all get a call from one of the Yoxian cruisers' bridge, and you see a whole bunch of skeletons kind of plugged in behind a chair that swivels into view, showing none other than Captain Gevalar Skanor at the commands. Bum, bum, bum.
So it's come to this, Gevalar Skanor, my nemesis, on the opposite sides of the battle at last.
I'm pretty sure we're on the same side. No, he says, it seems like a great deal of this armada is made up of the bulk of the Yoxian fleet. We have you to thank for rescuing these vessels from the defeat at the hands of Ark Prime already. So we pledge to you that we will fight to our last unbreath for the Pact Worlds. We will prove to this universe that the undead have a great deal to offer in unlife. I know we've had some disagreements and miscommunications in the past, but know for sure that this will be the most glorious team-up in the history of the universe.
From behind the vid screen, you see another undead.
Little Gabby, who are you talking to? Dad, old. Dad has misplaced his glasses. Have you seen them, little Gabby?
Who's little Gabby?
That's Gevalar Skanor, because he's talking about Gevalar Skanor Senior from that one.
I played Gavilar Skinor Senior in one of our offshoots.
One of our Halloween episodes.
And I feel like I feel like
season, everybody. He's back.
Gevi Senior would be here at this hour of great need, but he's not a combat participant. He's just
Go back to bed, father.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry. This is one of your business meetings. I've interrupted. Hello, all you nice people. I'll get out of your way. I'm sorry.
Halfway through the combat, he's gonna walk in with like pizza rolls.
Did anyone
This'll
else
get
do
me a-
Space Wordle today?
I'm having
I just
problems
like the
with my
idea.
space Wi-Fi.
I like the idea of him in just like a satin robe with slippers, like little bunny slippers, just walking around the starship. I don't have my hearing aids in, but why is it so noisy outside? How come I can hear in space? I am a confused old man and I need help.
All right, Tyler. I think Patrick's about to end the podcast.
I thought he was
No.
looking something up, so I was just vamping.
I was purposefully ignoring you guys so you'd vamp some more, but no, we have to get to it, as before long the Armada forms a huge arc, a multi-tiered arc around Absalom Station, getting into an offensive kind of maneuver. You see starships reaching out in nearly every direction, from steward vessels, planetary military craft like the Eoxians, hired mercenary ships, pirates, all of them, people from across near space with their weapons primed. You see maybe people checking in across all these ships, checking scanners. There are humans here from Lost Galarion. You got neighboring Lashuntans, ships of Ahsoki and the Eoxians, and many androids that were created, enslaved, and then freed, as well as Kasathan and Sheeran ships who have found a new home here in the Pact Worlds, and several Vesk vessels who were once sworn enemies of the Pact, now some of the greatest allies. And they are forming up a kind of like a chainmail link, a giant shield against this invading enemy force of the ancient alien Ark and its fleet of drones, the Civ. Steward Director General Lynn Camelin kind of comes over all comms and gives a speech and says, "A few days ago, this unknown starship entered our system and ignored our hails and started attacking our ships. And earlier today, it made its intentions crystal clear. It seeks nothing less than the Starstone itself. It seeks nothing less than the complete destruction of Absalom Station. We don't know its full capabilities yet, but we know we're unlikely to be a match for it as soon as it decides it wants to destroy us. So our mission is to pierce its shield so long that the best of the best among us can destroy the ship from the inside. The destructive potential of the Starstone in the hands of this foe cannot be overstated. Not only would many lose the last remaining touchstone of the world that birthed them, but if Absalom should fall, it would mean the end of the Pact Worlds as we know it. In all the battles we face as a united front, we have yet to surrender 1 inch of ground of Absalom Station, and we're not about to do it right now. I know some of you are fresh from battle. You've had no time to rest, 10-minute or long, either or. Some of you should never have seen combat this soon. I ask that you now summon your courage, your discipline, your pride, and serve side by side with us once more in united fronts. Give today everything you have, for if we lose here, there will be no tomorrow." There's a rousing shout from all the combined ships here, but communications cut off, leaving only the silence of space as you hear the Starbrand's engines powering up. And a few minutes later, you get a call over a private channel, and it's Kimbrisa June saying, you don't need good luck. You have Aloratu on your side. Just know that I have family that is serving on many of those ships. They'll be fighting with you, and I will be here thinking of you. So just please give it your all. right, let's talk about Starfleet combat.
No.
No. It's going to be rounds.
How many flybys can we do per turn?
You have only a few actions because we're not doing a starship combat, Drew.
Oops, all flybys.
So
the name of this episode.
Yeah, you may or may not be excited about this, but we are talking about ability score rolls for the most part. Some skill checks. But
no!
There are 3 areas of engagement. I said the shields, the ship, and the station, Absalom Station. And each area of engagement has a win point and a lose point. You can lose the battle if the enemy gains too many successes, and you can win each of one of those 3 areas if you gain a bunch of successes. So the main goal is to take down the shields and put yourself onto the surface of Ark Prime. You can do that very easily by eschewing the other 2 battlefields if you'd like. That will have pretty cataclysmic consequences if you do so, but that is a possibility. The other possibility is you can win all 3 battlefronts and still move on, but you might not have enough time to do it well. So we have a limited number of ships, fleets of ships that you guys have at your disposal. 21 is what I count here. The 80 Oxian, 10 Armada, and the 3 Contractor Devils. Those you can use to divide up amongst any of the battlefields that you'd like. And each one of those will give you a +1 bonus to whatever your battlefield roll is for that area. Each round, you can make 1 roll for each of the battlefield areas. And there are basically, if you roll a success, and I'll tell you right now, it is DC 20. These are going to be DC
on an ability
20.
check. On an ability check.
Well, it's very specific abilities. We are talking intelligence, wisdom.
So you can't even use like the ability you're good at. You gotta. It's a specific one.
Well, these are you guys planning out like attack patterns or sending words of encouragement, because charisma is one of the 3. It's the 3 mental stats, or outsmarting the enemy. But
once again, I have nothing to do in space.
Well, there's other things you can do besides those roles, but taking a look at the stats probably will focus on Knack and Raimi making some battle plans or shouting words of encouragement. And then I think, Tyler, you might be the next highest ability score, or Rebecca. What's your charisma, Rebecca?
5.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad.
Yeah, but to hit a DC 20, that means just a roll of.
It's a 15.
Well, we don't know all the details yet, but I mean, like in that.
Well, like I
situation.
said, the bonuses that you can get, you have up to +21. You can put each of these ships to one of these areas, and that gives you a bonus. And then you also get bonuses if that's the only thing you're going to do in your turn, and you can aid one another. I'll allow that at least one person to aid. But you have to secure each of these objectives, and it's very possible to fail them. There is critical failures if you roll, I believe, 4 below the DC. I'll double check on that.
I'm glad they included those.
Are you? Well, there's not a critical success. So.
Oh, what a bunch of buttheads.
Wait, no. If you, there is a critical success. If you exceed it by 5 or more, so a DC 25, you gain like 2 victory points instead of 1. And if you fail by 4 or less, it's just a regular fail. But 5 or more, and there's unique critical failures.
Okay, so how many victory points are we aiming for here?
Who knows? I'll tell you once they are secured. But it is going to be a fluid battle because the Civ can gain points and take yours away, or
but you said that we can trivialize this if we just sacrifice the whole fleet, right?
You can make one giant spearhead, and it is very possible to secure the shield victory almost immediately.
Okay.
Wow. That is oof.
It's a lot, and I have even more because there are 4 additional abilities that you can use during the combat.
Oh my
They are encourage allies, which is kind of like a captain action, attack Ark Prime shields, which is a gunnery action, scry Ark Prime, which is magic officer. These are skill checks, not ability score checks, and scan Ark Prime. And these will have different abilities that can help out. The encourage allies one basically reduces the amount of victories that the Civ can get on each of its rounds. The attacking the Ark Prime shields can give basically a victory point for scoring a powerful attack. The Star brand that you guys have access to has a super X laser cannon, which is 3d4 times 10. So if you don't roll 4 ones, you're basically guaranteed to hit that damage threshold of 50 points.
Okay.
Let's see. I haven't even really read the scans, the 2 scans, but one is a mysticism check and allows you to re-roll a check during the fleet phase. So you can re-roll one of these ability score checks. And the scan, the science officer scan, is a computers, and I think it does the same thing as another reroll. Yeah. So chances to help your allies help out other ships and stuff.
Woo!
Yeah,
listeners, if you'd like to know what the cast looks like, it's like a college professor who turns around and realizes that their entire student body is asleep. Nobody knows.
I can't wait for like when we come back to record in 3 weeks and Patrick has to explain all these rules.
Is there like a cheat sheet or something? I need to read it. Like I can't listen.
I just provided it to you.
It goes in one ear and out the other.
Oh yeah,
in Discord.
We dropped it in the Discord.
Well, the 4 that I just talked about, those actions, but otherwise it's just a wisdom, intelligence, or charisma check, and only one can be done for each of the areas. So
okay.
And what are the areas? What are the areas?
The Absalom Station, the main battle, or and the shields. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And I will say there are consequences for failing in any of the battlefields, and there are bonuses if you like kind of finish the fight. So it is totally fine if you want to just like kind of focus on one area at a time or divide up your forces. You guys can go wherever you'd like, but yeah, you have 21 forces to divide up. Let's talk about this first turn. As you're starting the battle, there are thousands upon thousands of Civ drones as well as larger Civ vessels that have formed up in all 3 of these areas. And as I said, we are skipping the starship combat portion of these combats because this would be another like 3-part combat if we did that. And the captain can handle what is happening here. So, but we are still going in kind of like turns. So the first turn, where would you guys like to start dividing these vessels up? Where do you want to focus up first? Do you want to?
Do you guys want to just do like 777?
I feel like that is what they want us to do, and that might.
I mean, I just don't know that I have any reason to do anything other than 777. We have a number divisible by
7 by 777, like 7 for each of the 3 areas.
Yeah, you have 21
ships,
fleets in total.
The only thing I assume that we who are in the Star brand are going to be focused on the shields, because we have a gun that does a absolute bonkers number. And so that would be the easiest thing to help get the shields down. And if we're there, then I would feel comfortable putting additional units in the other 2 sectors. So, like maybe if we did 885.
Sure.
Okay.
Do you want the Drift Rider in any particular zone?
Safely far away.
Is it different from any other ship?
Well, I mean, it is your ship and it has your friends on it. So
I mean, we have friends on all these ships, you know. I mean, Gavilar Ignore is on a ship. I mean, there's some important NPCs that are going to die here today, I think. So.
Well, that is always a possibility, but it still begs to ask the question: which quadrant do you want the Drift Rider?
Defense is fine, and then the Rusty Rivet can be a part of the fleet battle, since that is probably where they're going to get the best salvage.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I heard 885. Where do you want the Eoxian fleet?
The Eoxian fleet.
They seem like they've been pretty interested in getting into the battle, so you can put most of them in the main battle.
Okay.
Do you want them in the main battle, or do we want them backing up us trying to get to the Ark Prime?
Gavilar Snore can volunteer to help you guys out at Ark Prime if you only want 8 in the middle.
Yeah, that sounds good. 8 in the middle, and then
what about the Contractor Devils and Alabians 21-2?
Alabians, I think, should go wherever they're most likely to die.
That's up with us. Yeah, I think he should be up here with us. Just get those devils tearing up ships on the offense.
Okay, we got a whole bunch of Contractor Devils flying in formation around the Starbrand, an Eoxian fleet, and a steward's kind of fleet around the Starbrand as well. So you're leaving behind 8 for the defense of Absalom Station, and you can change these between turns, mind you, but 8 in the thick of it and 5 around the Starbrand. Let's get into combat. Yeah, so it is very much a huge starship combat. There have been skirmishes for like the last day or so around the Ark Prime, around Absalom Station, but they've not committed to a full-out attack yet. But once they see that you guys have mobilized and have moved out of the main orbit of Absalom Station, thousands upon thousands of drones begin to spill out of Ark Prime, out from dark regions where they've kind of remained hidden in the cold of space, and form up huge amounts of battalions of drones and vessels. There's about 5 full groups on each of these main battlefields, and yeah, they are going to look to defeat your guys' forces and multiply and kind of win each state, and your ships will be destroyed. Your friendly ships will be destroyed if they succeed. What do we want to do first? You guys have some basic actions: the encourage allies, Ark Prime, shield attacks, the scans. Is there anything you'd like to start with? And everybody has like an action each, just like Starship Combat.
So encourage allies is a charisma check.
It looks like
it is a diplomacy check.
DC 35 Diplo.
Oh.
So you're sending out a broadcast to all allied ships to bolster morale.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I have a plus 27 to
doing this action means you don't get a bonus to the
let
fleet
me hold off
at
on
the
that
end.
then.
Well, no, you just don't get your bonus. You can still roll it.
Wait,
So you're foregoing a +1 bonus on the ability check. Am I understanding that correctly?
It's a little bit more than that. It's +4.
Okay, so you're foregoing a +4 bonus.
So let me not do that then.
Okay.
Let me
Is there anybody else who has a high or a semi-high diplomacy? Because this is still a good thing to do.
Like diplomacy or charisma?
It is diplomacy. This is diplomacy.
I have diplomacy. I have a plus 23 to diplomacy.
It's pretty good.
Oh,
Alindra, give a speech. How about that?
I'm confused. Why is Knack not doing it?
Because because he loses the ability. So if Knack does this, then when he rolls the ability check to get victory points or whatever, he loses the +4 bonus that he would get because he's done another action.
Checks.
if that's all you do in your turn, then you get a little bonus.
Yes.
And it's much more dire if you were actually in Starship Combat and having to decide between, shooting the guns or reorganizing the shields. But this one, it's still pretty dire.
Okay, Alindra will stand up and give an inspiring speech to her allies that are on the ship. Do I turn on comms to do it?
Oh, yeah, you're talking to the entire fleet.
Talking to the whole fleet.
Oh, yeah.
So make your words count.
Our universe will not die today because we won't let it. We today call upon the dark and the light and make them collide to our benefit or something, as a Solarian would do.
Yeah.
No idea. All right.
That's a nice one, Admiral.
Oh, you
22.
crush.
I can also add 1d6 to that.
I don't think you need to.
Yeah, you can't critically succeed at these rolls, but you do get your full bonus here, which is the Ark Prime enemy only gets 2 strategic gains at the end of this combat round. So
Sweet.
pretty darn useful. We'll see how that works at the end of this turn. Tyler, did you have something you want to do?
So I take it that if Adros were to do because Adros isn't going to have really anything to do when it comes to like the victory point rolls, right? As I have understood it.
What's your highest mental stat?
3 + 3.
It's not the best. Like I said, the other allies would probably get more bonus, but you can still roll it. If you want to do it, you can only do 1 per area, but
Jabert, how many victory point roll? We're making 3 victory point rolls, right?
yeah. Well, you don't have to, but you can up to 3.
Jabert, what's your highest mental?
4.
Okay, so you're better. I was thinking someone could do the gunner, the attack Ark Prime shields, so that we could get a +1 status for the Ark Prime shield area of engagement.
Yeah, so my bonus would be 8 + 12, 20 for that. So I'd have to roll a 17 to hit that.
Okay.
So
and mine's a 21, so we're pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same.
Because it's your ranged attack roll, right?
Right, yeah. And I'm not full bab. And so
Okay. So maybe Adros fires the shield and you do the ability? Or does Adros does the gunnery thing and you'll do the ability? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take the attack Ark Prime's shield action.
Oh, yeah.
I need to hit an AC and TL of 37.
Admiral Vorkan comes on. It's like, you better be sure about this if we're giving up our main gun. We haven't scored any hits that have been demonstrably useful yet. You got some kind of higher power looking out for you, Varanus.
Well, Saren Ray hasn't failed me now, and I highly doubt she will let us fail in this battle. So let's see what we can give him.
Yep. AC of 37. 37.
Oh, boy, I have to roll pretty high.
I think there is also let me see. We got a Mark V Trinode computer on this ship, so you can get a little bonus there.
Oh, that's plus 5.
Yeah.
Okay, easy, cool.
Okay, so I'm going to just roll a ranged attack roll and we'll just see what happens. I have no rerolls, right?
Ooh,
Correct.
No. We're all out of those. Those are a thing of the past. We're playing normal Starfinder.
I hate this so much.
No pressure, Tyler. Oh,
There it is.
Oh, it's a critical hit.
Oh, natural 20.
There you go, baby.
Oh, it's not how easy we can go from like, this is the worst game ever to
Oh.
So 4d10 times 10.
Okay. Slash roll.
It doesn't do double damage in Starship combat, right?
Nope.
4d
Right.
10. Normally it would just do another
Critical. Yeah, if we made it through the shields, which bomp.
16 times 10 is 160.
Sorry.
What are you wooing about? That's really low.
I'm sorry. I misspoke. It's 4d4 times 10, not 4d10.
No.
Oh.
Try that again.
Roll
Really, you
4d4.
just don't roll all ones in this 16.
11, 110 points of damage.
Yeah.
Nice.
So if you score 50, you get a perfect shot at one of its like the weak points of its shield. So this thing is so huge, it has hundreds of shield generators probably that make like a web across this thing. Almost a 6-sided hexagonal web like we might use on a map here. And you score like the weak point between like where 3 of these shields match up. And you see all 3 of them kind of like taking damage at one time. And that does count as a success for
All right.
this area here for the Ark Prime shields. Ooh, who wants to? I think Jabert, you said you want to do something next.
I think I'm gonna just roll some whiz.
Okay, so Miles or Drew, do you want to hold off on actions and roll for those as well to see how that goes?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so the three of you are putting your heads together at the command center and maybe moving little miniatures, holographic miniatures around on the map. Who wants to take responsibility for the defense of Absalom Station? Got a +8 bonus, +4 if you haven't done anything else. So
I probably need.
+12 right now.
I think I probably need that one because I think I have the lowest ability modifier for a mental.
Okay, so yeah, you're directing some friends, including the Drift Rider back here at Absalom Station.
Come on, Drifties!
Go ahead and roll that. Roll them bones.
Hey, perfectly average. Or a little less. 14.
14 plus
12. That's
12. 26. So that is a critical success.
yeah. Pew, pew.
Which means, yeah, the defense is going very well. That counts as a critical success. And the ships are outgunned, outnumbered, but still holding their own as maybe some point defense systems on Absalom, because the Starstone reactor is like hyperpowered right now, start taking out ships left and right. Next, we have the main fleet battle. That's our friends in the Rusty Rivet, the main Eoxian fleet in a massive, starship battle that looks like just thousands of little pinpricks of light behind you guys in between Absalom and the Civ Ark Prime. Who wants to take responsibility for rolling this one?
Well, who's this? Who has the highest mental ability score bonus?
Who's got that 8?
I have the 8
Probably.
for int.
I have a 5 for int. I was hoping there was going to be some more charisma stuff with this.
No,
it
Drew,
it can be charisma. Yeah,
It can be charisma. Then I got 7 for
Yeah.
charisma.
All right.
Okay, so I think Drew should do the fleet, and then Miles should do the shield team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
then
Drew, roll that beautiful charisma.
you're shouting out battle commands, giving encouraging words to the Eoxians. Bum bum bum. Natural 2.
You still got it.
I was about to say, with +12, I think that's just a success. So a single success here in the main fleet.
Of course,
Okay.
I have all the stats, but when I need them, I roll 2s.
But you still, but it's still success. It's not a critical fail.
A 1
That's why it wasn't me in there.
Yeah,
Excellent.
you still killed it.
All right, let's go to the shields.
All right.
Prime Shield, Dramy.
All right.
So this is a +9 to your intelligence.
Ooh, it looked like it was
Oh.
going to a 2 as well, but 18 on the dice, a critical success.
My lantern.
Pew pew.
Yeah, so the forces around the Ark Prime are greatly diminished, as you guys have scored 3 successes here before the end of the round. And because we had a successful rousing speech from soon-to-be Admiral Alindra, I only get 2 reinforcement rolls. These are 2 D6s to see where they're sending more folks. And I've rolled a 2 and a 4. Just let me double check. Oh boy, you guys have lucked out. They do not have the forces to re-engage at the shields right now, but both the station defense and the thick of battle, it seems like they're pressing forward, get reinforced, and they gain a single success in each of those areas. So we'll put some forces back here, but it seems like your offensive has worked very well against the shields as we go into round 2.
So I'd like to pretty much do the same thing.
Mhm.
Unless people want to.
Yeah, I mean that seemed like that was a pretty good choice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the only thing I would change this time is now that we know we have that tri-node computer, Rebecca, you get yourself a little +5 on that diplomacy check if you want it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think minimizing how many reinforcements Patrick can hand out is going to be
That's pretty helpful.
pretty nice. And then the only thing we may have to look at doing is because we we got 3 successes from the shields, 2 successes from Absalom defense, but only 1 success at the fleet. And Patrick pretty much just got that straight back. So we may need to try to get a bigger role in that regard, but otherwise I think it's still going pretty well. So
I mean, right. That was we stayed even with them.
Yeah.
With a natural 2 on that roll. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I will say the trinode or quadranode, whatever it is, you guys can have one of those bonuses. They're also like the ship's crew has to use those as well too.
Oh, okay.
They're like fighting off 3 drones, just the Starbrand itself right now.
Okay.
So essentially,
we let Tyler use that on the guns.
It's up to you.
Oh, okay. I see. Because we can use it once per round, essentially. Right. Okay. Well, Rebecca, I guess let's just start off with encouraging allies again. You do have an extra 1d6 on this, so feel pretty confident.
Yeah. I'll open comms again and say to the fleet, Eoxian brothers, goblins, pirates, we must all band together.
Lend me your pointy ears.
Against the scourge of the Civ that are attempting to take our world. We will not let them.
As you're giving this rousing speech, I think there's some crackling that cuts through it over the same broad band as a dark, deep voice calls out from the void, from Civ space around Ark Prime, that says,
"You are but a speck on the flow of time. Your lives will revive the empire that has stretched across eons."
Seems like they're hacking your comms.
Rebecca, tell them to ignore that. Tell them that part was a big joke.
Yeah, but did they broadcast that in common, or did they broadcast it in Civ so no one knows what they said?
They didn't know common. They haven't been around enough. Only the people with comprehend languages understood it.
Whatever or whoever this is, they were speaking common, and it's crazy deep voice. It sounds familiar, like you've heard it before.
Do I recognize it?
Do you want to make me be an intelligence check?
I can try. I have +2 to intelligence.
Oh, you're a professor. I thought you had your college degree.
The 16.
This is, I mean, it's definitely a voice that you've heard in your adventures before. Who or what exactly it is, it seems like it's been some time, but it sounds like, it kind of reminds you of the Trillionaire's voice, the Zeoris, the Dragon Lord, but much deeper and kind of more resonant. Make me that diplomacy check, Rebecca.
All right.
Oh, it's a time dragon. Oh no.
It's time to reset. Beginning of the book.
It's a 36.
Oh yeah.
Do I roll my 1d6 on top of that?
It's a success, so you don't have to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a 40.
Rolling well. Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'm just taking the shot with the +5.
Wow.
So whatever this is, +5. 29 +5 is 34. Uh-oh.
That is not a success.
Oh no!
Bounces right off the center point of one of the shields. Maybe they've done some realignment since your last attack. Admiral Vorkan comes over comms and says, "You can't win them all, kid. Their shields are way beyond our own. If we don't get through this and win this combat soon, they're gonna be able to completely recalibrate, and all of our weapons fire will not have any effect."
So is he trying to warn me against something? I'm not quite sure.
You guys have a time limit on how long this battle can kind of go.
I agree. My favorite thing about all video games are time trials. Those are my favorites.
I like time trials where the clock's invisible.
You guys are ahead on a couple locations here. Does anybody want to try to do a scan action instead, or do you guys, and eschew that +4 bonus?
No, I don't. Not for me.
So just for the listeners, if we do a scan,
DC 35 computers, yeah,
it allows us to
reroll.
The PCs have one reroll during the fleet phase, which are these ability check things. So essentially, we can forego the +4 to have a chance at a reroll. But considering Drew and
you guys have
Miles
done pretty
succeed
well.
on like a 2 or higher, it's kind of I don't, the
I mean,
reroll
the
would
only
be mostly.
reroll we would really want is the reroll to attack the shields.
Right,
That's
which is
not
not
the-
which is not the
that's
kind
not
of
the fleet
roll.
phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so I agree. I don't think it's super critical.
Okay. Let's go
Um,
back to them rolls then. Do you want to do it in the same order? Andis with Absalom Station's wisdom.
Yeah, I might switch to intelligence because it's the same one, and I'm going to
Oh, you got a battle plan this time.
cast my computer brain into the deep webs and look through all the satellites that are out in space and use it to coordinate attacks and provide intelligence. Pee-pee.
I thought you were an android, but it turns out you're cyborg.
I'm
You're the
a-
superhero cyborg.
Boy, need my bonuses. 27.
That is a critical success here
Yeah.
at Absalom Station.
Well done. Well done.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, Drew is up.
All right, here we go. Let's see if Nax Charisma can maybe win the day this time.
I was gonna. I'm actually gonna say something real quick. I think if we get a critical success either on the home front or on this one, we can finish that zone of the battle. Is that right, Patrick? Is that how that works?
On which one?
On either the Absalom side or on the shield side, if we get a critical success and clear those last two, does that mean that portion of the battle is finished?
Unless they reinforce it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you wipe out all the enemy forces from any kind of area, that is a victory.
Okay.
in
All
that
right.
area.
Right. So like if you want to, if you roll well, you might just get a victory on one of those two.
Next turn, yes. Right now, he's rolling for the fleet battle at the center.
Right. What I'm suggesting is that he doesn't have to roll for the fleet battle, right? He could roll for something else, right?
No, there's only one roll for each area.
Oh, I
so-
understand. Okay. Sorry.
So, I mean, you could do something else, like I said, next turn, but why don't you roll me that charisma right now, Drew, for the main battle, which is pretty much dead heat. Ooh, looks like a critical success. You guys are rolling
Yes.
very well. So a couple forces going down here. You see maybe the rusty rift hit just like blasting through some debris that was like 3 drones before come up. It's like, thanks for the encouragement, Knack. Sorry, I tried to kill you that one time. sorry, took you out to try to kill you.
Just say that you tried to kill Admiral Feldspar and we'll call it even.
We have a couple of main fleets against your contractor devils, the Givlar Snor's capital ship fleet, and the Starbrand. Miles, make that intelligence roll.
All right.
This is very much Ender's Game style. You're behind enemy lines. You're directing the forces. Ooh, another okay roll, but you've got all your bonuses. So this is a critical success.
Yeah.
Which means these forces are going down, and I have two reinforcements to roll here at the end of the fleet battle. Okay, and I've rolled a 1 and a 3, which means the shields are successful. The shields have
victory.
let me read some more rules here. Well, yeah, the thing that you really needed to focus on, that is a victory.
Nice.
All right.
As you blast through the shields here, Admiral Vorkan comes over the comms, and after you direct all the ships, he's like, attention, all vessels around the Ark Prime shields, direct all fire to the following coordinates. Fire on my mark for the stewards, for the pact, for Absalom. There's a final silent volley from hundreds of ships that unleashes a storm of weapon fire at the Civ vessel. Missiles, lasers, plasma cannons, things like that. The giant point weapons of some of these cruisers and gargantuan ships, all firing at a point that looks to detonate about 1 kilometer above Ark Prime's bulk, right above the hull. And you see energy kind of crackling in a spider web across the shields here that dissipates outwards. And you see a few of these hexagonal shields going down as in the previous rounds, whenever scores have been hit, like you can see in real time, the ship's power fluctuates and bringing those shields back up. But this time the barrier kind of warps and pops, and there's a swirling vortex as the Armada's volley pierces through, and some even land and hit the hull, kind of bouncing off of it. The dour looking Vesk Admiral shows back up on your view screen. He's got a gash across his head, and he's like, by Damaratosh's blade, we've done it. I don't know how long this breach is going to stay open, but I'm assigning the last of our unscathed ships to escort you all down in one of our drop ships, Starfinders. You've done it, and I need you to go down there and give them hells for us.
We'll do it for you and everyone else who's defended the station today.
Affirmative, Captain. I mean, General, whatever. Admiral, probably. Yeah, that's the one.
It's Admiral.
Everyone's a captain.
I introduced myself that way.
I'm the king. I'm the king of space, so everyone's a captain to me.
The king of space.
I don't think you have the proper clearance to be king.
Beep boop. I put a crown on my head.
No. Right. So the battles are still raging for Absalom Station and the fleet here, but you guys can trundle into a drop ship that is on board the Starbrand, and
trundle and we shall go.
As you eject out, you have 100 contractor devils and Eoxian bone fleet ships kind of escorting you down in a massive spearhead formation. And
this is Ender's Game.
This is very much Ender's Game, as the pinwheels of the point defense fire around the escort lights up as the few remaining straggling ships are trying to take you guys out. There's a stray blast from one of the surface level guns on the Civ ship that rips through, and an undead pilot will pilot no more. And there's just a cloud of fire and debris and bone white bulkheads kind of behind you. But yeah, at the last moment before they get down towards the hull, they start to veer off and leave your ship hurtling through the gap in the shields alone, as a blaze of weapons fire comes up from the deck, from the scarred hull of Ark Prime. And it is we're going through all Starfleet descriptions here, because now it is definitely trench run territory on the surface of the Death Star. Dozens of surface turrets track your movement, and unfortunately it doesn't get you where you're going before a massive explosion rocks your vessel, and life support engines immediately start glitching as you start taking hull damage, shields going down. It seems like it's going to make a rough landing on the surface of Ark Prime, but still within like a mile or so of your point of entry.
Hold on to your butts.
Why don't you guys make me, everyone, a reflex save?
I was hoping he was going to say to be continued.
Yep.
Oh, we'll get this reflex going first.
Oh boy.
All right, we've got 4 successes. It's DC 23. Rebecca's squeaking it out. Edros taking full damage from the crash as you guys fall to the surface of the Ark Prime. It has 109 points of bludgeoning damage.
Can you imagine if I hadn't healed up and then this killed me?
Die in the crash. I think everyone's okay here, but on the half, if you succeeded, that is still 54 points of bludgeoning damage as your ship goes down. Maybe the airlock opens up and you are on the alien surface. Above you, a massive starship battle still rages as you have to seek out the entry onto the ship. The explosions and miasma of carnage above you in the heavens, as there are hundreds of miles away, Absalom Station, a low point of light in the distance. The explosions above you spelling out the words, of course, to be continued for another time. You've set up all the other fleets for potential victory as well, but your mission is a more personal one. It's time. It's time to Civ Miji guys head on, and that's going to be next week's episode.
Exciting.
Civ 7.
right.
This time it's personal.
I mean, unless they do a barrel roll and then we're dead.
Oh, yeah. Right. Let's just hope that they don't move at all.
Can a capital ship do a barrel roll?
Exciting and new.
Let's hope that they don't put on the brakes or anything and just send us flinging off into the shields.
I don't think that's how physics works, does it?
Captain,
it is. Yes.
Captain, the drift rider crew is on the outside of the hull. Jump into the drift real quick, and then we'll pop back. All right, they're gone.
Right. That's going to do it for this week's episode, guys. Thank you for playing with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And the listeners, thanks for listening. We will catch you next time here on Cosmic Crit.
Good night.
Space ahoy!
You've been listening to Cosmic Crit, an officially licensed partner of Paizo Incorporated. The Starfinder role-playing game and adventure paths are trademarks of Paizo. All Pathfinder and Starfinder images are property of Paizo and are used with permission.